Okay. It's Friday. Welcome to Real Radio. We're broadcasting live from B-Box. The guest is here on time, which usually means it's going to be a good show. I'm also videotaping this. I'm being fancy, but we're going to start the show. We're going to play a song, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to find out who the guest is. Is that fair to everybody in the room? There's like 10 people in the room. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yes was the answer. If you want to reach out to us, it's at CTN Creative. All of our past shows on mixcloud.com/Real Radio. This is what we do. It's Friday. Hopefully you're happy, because I am. So I'm excited for several reasons. I actually shouldn't be excited because I feel like I'm about to get sick. But I'm excited for several reasons. One, we're doing this show with the studio door open, so I feel like it's going to be a lot of energy coming in the room, and I'm ready to absorb it because I'm stealing everybody's energy. This instrumental is way too loud because I'm stealing everybody's energy right now today because I need it. Second, this is a totally, how do I explain this? I didn't even know I was going to have this guest on the show at all. This was not anything planned. How I'm going to introduce her. Let me think about this. So, a while back I met her, but that's not the point of the story. This summer, I was talking to, who was I talking to? I was talking to my right-hand man, Kofi, and I was like, yo, bro, I'm thinking about doing this juice diet. He was like, what you talking about? We're going back and forth. He was like, yeah, I quit sugar for like a week. I was like, it was crazy. I said, all right, boom. End of that conversation. Then I was like, I gotta do this juice diet, bro. So I reached out to the one person I knew. I don't know that many people that are juicing. I reached out to the one person I knew for a fact that had the recipes, and lo and behold, she had the recipe. So I've been doing it for a while. By the way, I'm gonna need a new fruit because I'm getting sick of apple. I'm trying to see if I can switch it up. So anyway, lo and behold, she not only gave me the recipe, she literally basically gave me the instructions, how you're supposed to massage your vegetables. So, you know what I'm saying, you get in communion with your vegetables. I don't know what that means. I did it. Doesn't matter. Another twist. So I reached out to her. She sent me the info. Then come to find out, so we both used to work at the same place. Come to find out, I get another email like, hey, listen, I'm going to be gone in 2 weeks. Cool. I'm not taking it any kind of way. It's not like I was keeping tabs on it before anyway, so whatever. She's making a career move. Then I asked her, I was like, oh, okay, so what's the next move? Nothing. Interesting. I don't know who leaves work to not work anymore. But then it's a lie. Random day, I was either driving to Boston or coming back from, I was driving somewhere north or coming back from somewhere north. And I get a text message about a live session taking place in Brooklyn. Was this in Brooklyn? Yep. Okay, so a live session taking place in Brooklyn. Now, see, I know her as Kamila. She got this new other name. Every artist come up with names. People on the radio just come up with their first names. Like, my name is Eve, and this is how I'm moving. Welcome to Real Radio.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Okay. What's your artist name?
Kamila Hadiya. And it's really not an artist name per se. It's my first name and middle name. Okay, so you thought you were fancy. Maybe I should have done that. What do you do? I sing.
Okay, so I was right. Okay. Well, first, let's talk about that performance. Or was that your first time? And what was it?
That was my debut show. I've been singing for a very long time, but that was my very first show that I actually put on from the ground up. Okay. And it was a sound immersive, like an interactive sound listening, where I invite people to connect with their bodies and their emotions through their own voice and through music.
What does that mean? Put it in layman's terms.
Okay, so
and the reason I ask, it's not a crazy question. I hope it's not a crazy question. The reason I ask is because, to me, the experience of listening to music is already a physical thing. Maybe I'm wrong. Is this like a next level?
Right, but not everyone appreciates that. Like, a lot of people listen to music and they don't realize the effect that it has on their body, like down to visceral reactions and responses that you have in your actual physical body and then your emotional body.
Okay.
And I think, people take it for granted that, they can just listen to anything and it'll be like nothing, no effect. And they're not, the issue is that they're not conscious of it. They're not aware of it necessarily.
Okay.
But there is an effect on your body and your mind and your emotions.
Okay, so tell us about that performance, that debut performance,
okay, so
live.
That debut performance, I constructed sound or music to original traditional African chants, and I also performed my own original songs. And what I did was, most people were sitting on the floor. I was sitting on the floor, and we were connected to the earth, grounded. And I sang, and afterwards invited people to go within and take note, like acknowledge what's going on inside, emotionally and physically. And they had the opportunity to either take note of it mentally or write it down. And then after the performance, we all discussed what came up for us, what was released, what we had resistance to, what we were enlightened about in terms of the song, the melody, the lyrics, the vibration of it, how we felt. And we shared that experience.
Okay, several questions. First, I thought you were going to say I invited people to sing too. I was like, oh,
yeah,
terrible.
people sang.
Everybody ain't got that voice.
They did.
One, well, I'm going to be real. But I want to be a little specific. You said you were using African chants. Were they specific to a particular region? Because African chants could be Kenya, South Africa, Morocco. I'm trying to go west. Nigeria.
So that's a very good question. So these chants actually came through the Earth Center of Manu from the Dogon tribe of Burkina Faso.
I like the breakdown. Why those?
They're the ones that I learned through their spiritual science, and those are the ones that I connected with. Like, they have an actual effect on me. And those are pretty much the first chants that I learned.
And you can sing those chants?
Well, the chants were not set to music. I put music to them.
Okay.
So you can sing them. Like, if you chant it, typically they're chanted just like rhythmically, not necessarily melodically. And you can do it yourself if you want to, but I set like background music to it and created like a melody around, based on what I was feeling whenever I chant the lyrics, the words.
Are those chants tied to a ceremony, a particular ceremony, or are they chants?
Yes, they are. So it's tied to what's called Zemzem. And Zemzem.
Well, nobody knows.
Yeah, so Zemzem is the spiritual practice where we honor our ancestors and also the gods and goddesses of the African religion per se.
Yeah. I like that. I like the way that sounds. Okay.
So it goes through a whole process. Like, it starts with like physical and spiritual cleansing of the body and mind before you actually get into the chants. And at the Earth Center, they teach you all of this. So, they came here. There was a teacher that came here from Burkina Faso, and he taught people of the African diaspora in America and right now in the UK as well about this spiritual system.
Is it specific to people of the African diaspora, the teachings, or is it, I guess, available to everybody?
Yeah, it's available to everybody.
So Babylonians can go to it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have a lot of questions, but I want to focus. So I want to talk about this performance, and then we're going to play one of your songs.
Okay.
And then I want to talk about where you're trying to go with this, right? And with this performance, you mentioned that people took notes and some people internalized how they felt. And then you guys had, I guess, a discussion about it.
Yeah.
How was that, and what was the outcome of that?
It was very, very refreshing, because most times people are afraid to speak about their emotions and what they feel, let alone actually realize that they're feeling something. And both male and females were able and willing to share what they felt. For some people, joy came up. For other people, they got enlightened about the meaning of love for them. This one person felt that, you know, there's a part of love that he knows in terms of like family love with his mom and his daughter, but then the other side of love in terms of like romantic relationships, he doesn't really understand. So, you know, they were able to like really break it down verbally how they were feeling, and it's their own reality, their own experience. And what was really beautiful is that we provided that safe space where we were able to honor each other's own experiences.
How was that for you as the artist? Is it a giving experience, or you also taking in things? Right? Because I can see how they're receiving your music and feeling it and going through it, but is it just you giving, or you actually receiving things also?
Yeah, I'm receiving the connection. Like, I thrive on connection and collaboration, and just being able to communicate that deeply and being vulnerable in that space with other people. I really enjoy that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to play one of the songs that are these, are the songs that you sent me, are those all original songs from you? Okay. So no one is gonna call me telling me. Okay. Just checking. The song I want to play is called Baby Oak.
Okay.
How would you introduce it?
Baby Oak.
You don't even have to introduce it, by the way. You could just say, hey, just play it and let the people interpret it how they want to.
Well, that was a live nature spirit transmission, and that's a vocal toning exercise. And when you listen to it, it evokes a sense of being out in nature, and you might feel some like tingling in your brain, in your head, because it's aimed at decalcifying your pineal gland.
What is that?
So your pineal gland is this like gland in your brain that's responsible for, it's like your spiritual center.
Okay.
And have you ever heard of the Eye of Ra or the Eye of Horus?
Yes.
It's, if you see a picture of that, they liken that image to the image of your pineal gland in your brain. So it's like your third eye. All
right. We're about to play Baby Oak. It's Real Radio. If you want to reach out to us, the actual studio phone works. If you got questions that I haven't asked, doubt it. I got all the good questions. 718-577-2855. And if you want to reach out to us on Instagram, or actually it's not just Instagram, it's social media in general, at CTN Creative. So here we go. It's Baby Oak. I might go into trance. I'll be back after this. Okay, walk us through that. I have a few questions. The nature sounds, were they recorded live?
Yes.
So, okay. And the vocals are all you?
The vocals are all me.
Okay. Are you vocalizing in nature as you're recording?
Yes.
So you're not recording in the studio, then going and then putting it together?
I was outside in the park under an oak tree, a baby oak tree. with my computer.
This is me thinking. How do you get inspired? Like, yeah.
Spirit.
So first off, it's great spa music. My experience of good spa music. This is going to be a crazy description, but it's the truth. My experience of good spa music is it literally creates a separation. When you walk into a spa, sometimes you walk, if you're going for like massages or stuff like that, you know what I mean? You know, I'm out there getting my backs worked on. So if you're going for massages and stuff like that, I like places that create a clear separation between the street and their room, right? And one of the ways they use is obviously the lights, the decor, whatever, but the music and what they play, it can really just bring you into, hey, this is where I need you to be, or this is where I want you to come to, right? So that's what I feel when I'm listening to that. It pulls you in to a particular place, not necessarily telling you what that place is, but feel that does it make sense? I don't know how to vocalize. That's what I was thinking.
It makes sense, because that place to me is within yourself. So when you go to a spa, that separation is a peaceful place as opposed to what's outside in the world, right? With all the hustle and bustle, the noise pollution, all this stuff that's going on. And the spa kind of takes you away from that to this peaceful place. And what I'm saying is that place is inside of you all the time. And so this
is it really?
It is.
Okay.
It is. And the music should take you there. The music that you listen to, or anything that you listen to, that you feed your mind, that you feed your body, should perpetuate that feeling no matter where you are.
What feeling? That
feeling of being at peace, or being within yourself, or having that awareness of that inner feeling of being like within yourself, and not being so like externally driven, externally stimulated all the time.
Can you be at that place all the time though? Is there a benefit? And the reason I ask that is because I consume music a lot of times based on where I am emotionally, whether it's angry or calm or happy or not, right? Should I only be listening to music that puts me at peace?
That's a good question. I think you should listen to music that creates the balance.
Okay.
So when you say you consume music based on where you are emotionally, it seems like the emotion comes first, and
not always, but sometimes yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what my goal is for you to become aware of that emotion, and then know how to manage it. And I'm hoping that my music can do that for people.
How would I learn how to manage it from listening to your music? It's one thing you'll take me there, or it's one thing you'll say, hey, notice this already happening, right? But then how do I manage or learn how to manage it?
Because once you listen to the music and you become aware of what you're feeling in your body, viscerally and emotionally, hopefully you'll grow to like that feeling better. And then you'll say to yourself, you know what, I want to feel this much at control and at peace and in a state of management all the time.
Is that how you feel?
Most times, yeah. Yeah.
Master. So I'm calling you from now. You've mastered it.
I'm not a master by no means, but working on it.
How does that feel? And how did you get to that level?
Oh yeah, I wasn't always like that, but definitely my spiritual journey, meditation. I meditate a lot every day.
Okay.
I honor my ancestors every day.
What does that mean?
That means that I do my spiritual ablutions every day, go through spiritual cleansing, and I speak to them every day.
Okay. What's that feel like?
It feels like support. It feels like a connection. That's what it feels like. It feels like having your family around you all the time. Yeah.
But you were saying how you got to where you are now, so I'm curious about this journey that brought you to being at peace all the time. I'm trying to be at peace all the time. It's hard, man. I'm definitely not there.
I'm not necessarily at peace all the time. A majority of the time.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But I've also gotten used to not being at peace all the time and being able to manage. I don't know if it's a good thing. I'm just saying I feel like if you also want to, as you're traveling to this place of peace, you have to be able to be responsible, controllable, right?
Yeah.
As you're traveling there, right?
Yeah.
And not necessarily be out of control.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And being out of control, is relative. It's all about like managing your emotions, I think. Okay. And knowing what emotion is appropriate for the situation, the current circumstance.
But what triggered you going down that path? Is that how you were brought up? Is that something you knew from birth, or something happened? Did you get into a fight with somebody and were like, yo, this is it, I'm crazy, I gotta chill? Like, seriously, what triggered you to go down that path? Oh,
man. Okay. So
you don't have to give details. You could name names. This is a platform where we call people out. So if you want to name drop somebody, go for it.
So my spiritual awareness started in college. So naturally,
Did you go to a majority white college?
I did not. I went to Berkeley.
I was just checking. Sometimes it's a shock for people, and they're like, "Oh, damn it, gotta find myself." Sorry.
It was equal, even. So
I don't think that's true, but go ahead.
So naturally, growing up in a black family, you got to go to church
all the time. Sometimes multiple times a week. Yep. And don't tell grandma you don't believe in God. What?
Forget about it.
God done took us out of slavery. Yes. Are you crazy, bro? Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
So after I became of a certain age, I decided, well, that's no longer for me. I'm not doing that.
But what triggered that? I'm curious. The reason, and I'll tell you why I asked, because I'm experiencing similar feelings. However, I haven't been able to completely detach. Mm-hmm. But I'm curious to I've met a lot of people who find themselves in that position. I've met a lot of black people who find themselves. I've met a lot of immigrant black people or like first or second generation immigrants that find themselves in that position. So I'm curious.
Okay, so I'm building up to it. Okay, so once I got to college, I'll admit, for the wrong reasons, I became a Christian.
What do you mean for the wrong reasons? Oh, you met somebody? Oh, come on, y'all. Come on, that's a no. Come on, it wasn't for Jesus. Look at you. Oh, he knew you were
this
fake.
This is Real Radio, right?
Yeah, go ahead. You're right. Go ahead. Tell a story. I'm gonna shut up.
So, yeah. So I got into Christianity, and I was really, really into it, and I started reading the Bible cover to cover. So once I got to this part of the Bible that talked about like food, and then I kind of like looked around, and like people were living till 120 years. It's like, I want to do that. So then I started looking at, what was prescribed in the Bible for foods, and I started doing that. So then more and more questions came up for me the more I read, and I would take these questions to like the spiritual, like the pastor or the preacher, right? And the one question I always got back, questions that they couldn't answer, was like, oh, God works in mysterious ways.
All the time, baby.
Don't question God, And that just wasn't enough for me.
You can't ask no questions.
I can't, yeah.
Although in the Bible, I forget who it is, he kept questioning and pushing back at God, and he broke his hip or permanently gave him a limp. I read it covered. I forget who it is. I can't remember. Like he was in a battle with God because he was like, no, like he was questioning him. Go ahead.
So after that, then I started trying to figure out like, so everything has an origin, right? So I started trying to figure out, well, where did the Bible come from? So that led me on a backward path to what's called the scriptures and then the Quran, and trying to find the origin of, where this Bible came from, which led me all the way back to African spirituality. And that's where I'm at right now.
Where exactly? That means we're in America. When you say African spirituality, people think Africa is a country. What does that mean?
So it means ancestral veneration, honoring the gods and goddesses of my ancestors and following their rituals, their code of conduct, their discipline, and practicing their values of community and family. And I'm not, fully there yet because I still have resistance to certain things.
Like, do tell. You gotta tell.
Oh man, you're asking something.
No, you gotta say. I mean,
so
because I know it's some. Go ahead.
So like it's difficult for me to do the whole like the gender roles.
That's right. Play your position. I couldn't wait till you say it. Woo! Exactly where I was going. Play your position. Let me be the leader. Let me tell you what to do. So I'm curious. Yeah, how do you handle that?
I don't.
Okay.
I just don't do that.
Troublemakers
and
everywhere.
I mean, listen, to me,
the interesting thing though is the Bible also perpetuates that, right? So
Right.
it's not like it comes from nowhere.
it's not like far-fetched.
Right.
Right. But I just feel like, okay, I was born by myself.
That's not true.
Really?
Somebody was pushing you out, or
Meaning
somebody
like,
cut you out. There's only two ways.
No, I mean like I came into this world
Dolo.
not
Oh, you didn't have
solo.
a twin?
I didn't have a partner.
You didn't have a twin.
Right. I didn't have a twin, or I didn't have like a partner.
Okay.
So my goals and my wishes and my aspirations and my personality is for me and how I was meant to serve the community, not necessarily
Serve
based-
the man, baby.
not necessarily based
Serve
on
the
me
man.
being a female.
Yeah, serve the man, baby. I agree with you because I actually have a lot of issues with the patriarchal aspects of religion. Because if you look historically, one, it was never used for anything good, right? It seems like it kept on, even till now, it just finds ways to just be nefarious. And I've seen too many strong women push back against men who were telling them to do certain things that were completely stupid, and they still did it. And I'm like, hold up. If I'm going to be scientific and look at the data that's in front of me, it doesn't really look good.
Right.
Like I can't just say, yeah, you know, because you're a man. You may know because you have experience and whatever, but not necessarily because you're a man, at least to me. So I do have qualms with that. So, but then how do you? But you found yourself, or at least that's your trajectory. That's where you find your spirituality, and yet that's something you're in conflict with, right?
Yeah.
So where does that leave you?
It leaves me still on a journey, still evolving. Yeah.
Okay. And another question that popped up when I was listening to Baby Oak is, where did you record that? That can't be New York, because I don't hear subways. Nobody's cursing. Couldn't hear honking.
I was in the park. It was New York.
What park is that?
Casino. In Queens.
Everyone needs to go to Casino Park right now. I'm telling y'all right now.
It's very quiet there.
If you want to disappear,
It's very quiet.
apparently that's where you go.
Yep.
Prospect Park ain't it. We knew Central Park wasn't it.
Yep.
Casino Park sounds like it. That's where it's at. Okay. All right. This is actually the perfect segue, because the next song I want to play is Spirit Transmissions, Nature.
Oh yeah, that's similar too. So I was in the park with that one too.
Same park.
Yep. No, that one's not the same park. So you might hear noise in that one.
Okay.
Yeah, but that was live.
If I hear noise, I might not like that park no more. I might stick to Casino. So we're gonna play Spirit Transmissions, Nature. I'm gonna get mentally ready for this. That's why I'm not talking. It's Real Radio. Stick around.
Oh
So I have some questions about your art. How does it work? How do you plan on delivering it? I'm gonna speak marketing terms. Packaging it. What's it like? Are you working on an album?
I am working on an album.
Okay.
For now, it's mostly live shows, just because I like that connection factor. But I am working on an album to come out soon, hopefully by next summer.
Okay. And so once you go down the album format, then you're no longer controlling how people consume your music, right? Because at that point, hey, it's out there. I use it how I want to use it.
Right.
How do you feel about that? Because it sounds, and the reason I ask is because it sounds like your music is very experiential.
Yes.
What's the English word for I want it? Okay, you got it.
Yeah. No, that's right, and that's fine. I'm perfectly fine with that, because the energy is a positive one. My intentions in my music is to uplift humanity and raise the vibration higher just by the tones and the sounds that come to me. And I infuse it with that positive energy, and if that can go out into the world, then that's all I can ask for.
Okay. Yeah. And what are you? Well, you just said you're doing live shows now. Do you have any upcoming live shows?
Yeah, I have an upcoming show on October 12th. It's going to be at Blend's Cafe in Brooklyn.
That one weekend where I'm not here. Yeah, I'm not here. Man. When's the one? Do you have more after that? I'm assuming you're going to be doing more.
I'm going to be doing more, so I'll definitely let you know.
Well, how can the people find out about you? Do you have a website, social media?
Kamila Hadiya.
Okay, you're going to have to spell that for these illiterates, please. Thank you.
So it's KAMILA HADIYA, and that's on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook.
Oh, there's videos of you doing these performances.
Yeah, me in the park.
I should have Googled that, idiot. What do you record with in the park? What's that setup like?
It's my MacBook Pro. And
nice plug. They didn't pay me for this, but hopefully
sorry,
they pay
bad.
you. I don't care.
Computer.
I really don't care. I'm being honestly, no. Real radio is nobody. You're right. Go ahead.
And my my headset, wireless headset microphone.
It's that good?
Yeah,
like it sounds like pretty clear.
Yeah.
I need to invest in this equipment. Okay.
Depending, if I have my microphone on me, then it'll be good. But then if not, then I'll just use my earphones for the phone.
Do we need to call you One Take Kamila?
What?
Like, do you do it in one take?
I do. I do it in one take. Yeah, I don't do it.
One take. No, but seriously, like, do you not mess up? I mess up on radio all the time, and I'm curious. Maybe it's not a mess up, I guess.
Right. So what happens is I go out, I sit down in nature, I meditate for a while, and I just connect with what I hear. I hear so many things. I hear the birds, I hear the leaves rustling with the wind, I hear the cicada, I hear children.
Right now I hear the subway going by, but go ahead.
I hear children playing in the distance, and I hear birds, and what happens is I connect with those energies and I start singing what I hear and what I feel.
Do you need to be secluded from people when you're doing these performances, or you can do it in the middle of the crowd?
I need to be, for the most part, it can't be in a crowd. I do need to be somewhat like alone, but people, passing by, but not noise, not too much noise going
fair.
On. Yeah.
I'm curious. So when you the connection, I'm trying to understand the connection from how the mind state and the place where you put yourself when you're recording to when you're performing. Is it the same place?
Yeah, it's the same place.
But you realize it's two different settings, right? I'm assuming when you're performing, or maybe you don't perform these songs in live, but there's not going to be any birds chirping.
Well, the songs that I record,
if they got birds in the building, I'm leaving. But go ahead. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. So what happens is the live stuff, I can't do that, inside. But I would sing my pre-recorded stuff. Like, say I did a chant, Ra's prayer, and I pre-recorded the music for that, and that's what I will perform in like the show setting. So
you're not going a cappella?
Right. No, I'm not going a cappella.
Are you? So what? So are you playing an instrumental that you're singing over or chanting over?
Right. There's an instrumental that I'm chanting over.
Okay.
And that's how I do it.
Does that instrumental have birds chirping?
No.
I'm just trying to understand this.
It doesn't have no. It's mostly like synth sounds, software sounds, and so MIDI.
Okay.
It's nothing.
Why?
Nothing acoustic.
Why? Is there a reason for that?
Yeah, because it's a controlled environment, and I can actually pre-record it and have a track to sing while I'm performing in this show.
Do you need a track to sing?
I don't need one, but it definitely sets like a tone.
Really?
Oh man.
Okay, I'm just messing with you.
You put me on the spot.
Go ahead.
Oh man. No, but I don't necessarily need one, but it does add to the mood.
Okay.
And gets people, into a certain mood, because it is all still music, and those synth sounds were recorded from acoustic sounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The Baby Oak, there were some sounds that I felt like were something circular hitting metallic hitting something else.
Yeah, that was the Tibetan singing bowl.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. How much those cost? Just trying to see what your budget.
You funny.
So this is the reason. So two things. From what I knew about you, the little I knew about you, this makes sense. Just I'm saying the way you carried yourself, or you carry yourself. I'm not surprised that you're doing this. Where the surprise comes in is this. Why are you doing this now? Coming back to dollars and cents, are you trying to make a living out of this?
Of course, absolutely.
Why?
Because this is what's aligned with my soul.
Why can't you give it to me for free? You're trying to help me out.
Because there's a law of exchange.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
That's not even.
I'll shake your hand.
That's not even
That's
equal
not fair?
exchange.
Oh, okay. I'll shake your hand.
No.
Okay. So you want to your goal is to make a living out of this.
Definitely. I mean, I think that's the ultimate actualization, self-actualization.
Ooh, really? Why?
Because I think if you are able to align your sole purpose with how you spend most of your day, it's like a results-oriented way of saying you've actualized yourself or your purpose.
Are you not worried that the money is going to corrupt you?
No.
What?
Why would I? Because I'm working on
I'm worried
myself.
at all times. No. I got a number.
Money doesn't.
If they come to me, it's like, listen, there's a number.
Money
so
can't.
So you don't have a number.
A number? What do you mean?
like okay, like what's the number where I could corrupt you and make you do whatever I want you to do? No. Like, what's your price?
No.
There's no price. You sure about that?
Money doesn't corrupt you. Okay. Money can't make you who you are not already are. Who you're not already.
Oh, so you saying I'm corrupt? Wow. Okay. I'm just out here trying to tell you that everyone has a price. I don't care who it is. That's my theory. It's not based in reality, but I do believe. Well, I definitely got a price. There's a lot of things I wouldn't do. There's a lot of things I would do for the right price. To be clear, hey, I own my truth.
That's good.
But how you're not worried about? So, my theory is right now, spirituality and being counter culture to some of the more established religion is a thing.
It's
right?
Definitely trendy.
So what does that mean? That means that the machine is going to recognize it, and the machine is going to say, hey, we can make some money, right? You have places, people are becoming more conscious about what they eat, which are all good things. People are questioning some of the established religions, and they're questioning their spirituality. People are meditating. Mm-hmm. I remember when I was a kid, my dad used to meditate, right? I think he still does. However, I used to think, oh man, that's what old people do. That's crazy, bro. Like, why does he meditate? Like, you can't just talk to somebody. Like, what's wrong with you? Write it down. He also used to write it down. But as I got older and where I am now, I'm like, clearly this is not a thing for old people, right? when you're going through life as an adult, I understand the value of meditation. One, because it actually gives you one or a moment, maybe more than one moment, but a period of time where you're focusing on yourself and you're trying to internalize and process and do that. Because in a regular day, who does that?
Right.
You're not doing that while you're at work, right? So my theory is that all these things, people will recognize that there is a larger and larger consumer base for that, and then they'll try to find a way to monetize it, which I think is already happening, right? You have places that offer, like, I mean, I've never seen so many advertisements for learning how to meditate.
Right, and yoga.
And I've been in New York for a minute, like, so I'm like, what? Is that a thing now? How is that not going to affect what you do, especially if you're trying to make a living out of it? That's why I'm asking that question.
Well, see, that's the thing. So there's a goal, and my goal goes beyond the physical reality.
Ooh, where you going?
My goal is to honor my ancestors and to live a pure life
while you're present,
right, while I'm here.
But you said beyond the physical reality.
But that goal is beyond physical reality, because it was a goal that was made spiritually.
Okay, got you.
So this goal, once I keep my mind focused on that, and any option that presents itself to me that I have to make a choice or decision about, if it aligns with that goal, then okay, I'll go that path. If it doesn't align with that goal, then I won't make that decision. I'll choose whatever is aligned with my goal.
How do you know if it does align? Is it a feeling?
No, it's not a feeling. It's by knowing, having solid, concrete goals, like what your goals are. Like
steps, like, hey, I want to do this, I want to do that.
Right.
Gotcha.
So for example, if my goal is to elevate that part of myself that's spiritual and make myself more spiritually conscious, and I want to do that through my music, then what I'm gonna sing is going to be songs and lyrics that is aligned with that goal. So the other day, someone came up to me to ask me to be in a blues band, and while I can do that, that's not aligned with my goal. So
you deaded it.
Yeah.
And he didn't even tell you the price? Or you heard it, you were like, this guy's cheap?
He didn't tell me the price, no.
I was just going to check, because I'm checking to see if money ain't playing no role.
It's not, it's not aligned. And so, and you have to trust, right? You got to know that once you make decisions that are aligned with your goals, that whatever is for you you're gonna get.
That's one of the questions I wanted to ask you, because if when you focus, or I guess you put yourself on that path, there are gonna be some. My impression of it is there are gonna be some hard sacrifices to make, or hard decisions to make. Are you ready for that?
Hard decisions like what?
I don't know. Somebody's coming at you telling you, listen, I can give you a bag of money. Everything's gonna go back down to it. I want to be clear. And then you're like, nah. That's gonna be like, I'm just trying to think. Not even money. Somebody comes to you and said, listen, I like what you do. I wanna market it and whatever. Some of their ideas and schemes, or they don't even have to be schemes. Some of their ideas or plans. Yes, you like the person. Yes, they can give you the exposure that you need, but there's certain things that don't line up. And there's no other perspective or prospective. Like, so how do you? It's an easy decision for you. It's like, nah, it's cool.
It may not be as easy, right now, because I'm not in the situation. But if that situation arises where I feel like it's a difficult decision, I have my ancestors that I can ask. So I can just go to them and ask them.
Does that response come in words?
It comes in. It could come in words. It could come in dreams. It could come through another person. Yeah.
But do you recognize it immediately? Really?
Yeah. Well, after you build that relationship, you start learning how. Like, you build that relationship and you just know how you get that communication. And
those ancestors are actual people? Yeah, by people, I don't mean like physical bodies people. I mean like you call them by name.
Yes.
That's that mic came up. Okay. That's a great place to be at.
Yeah, if you want to learn more, you can always go to theearthcenter.com.
I'm coming to you. You're the plug. You know how drug dealers got a plug? We're not talking about drugs here, but you understand what I'm saying. Come on.
I know.
But anyway, so I'm getting ready to close the show, but I do want I want to give you another opportunity. You see, it's been an hour. But before we started the show, she was like,
oh,
what are we going to talk about for an hour? Are you kidding me? I don't know what to say right now.
Oh my God.
And look, lo and behold. But let the people know where they can find your stuff one more time. And
okay.
And your next performance.
Okay.
More importantly.
So I'm Kamila Hadiya. I do music for higher spiritual vibration for humanity, and you can find me at Kamila Hadiya on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. That's KAMILA HADIYA. My next Sound Immersive is October 12th at Blends Cafe in Brooklyn, New York.
Listen, thank you for coming. I still want you to tell me what other fruit I can use besides apple.
Pineapple.
And, excellent. And I also want to get more recipes of juices that I can make, as I'm trying to heal my inner body.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime. Oh, by the way, Real Radio policy, once you come in, once you've been a guest, it's open door, so you can come in whenever. What? Yeah, open door, literally.
Free access pass.
That's right.
Anytime.
Anything you want to promote.
And mess with the controls and everything.
Chill. I mean, if you want to come do acapella, you want to do acapella? I'll give you time to do acapella right now. No? Okay. Okay. It's Real Radio. Thank you for listening. We are here Friday, 6:30 to 7:30 at CTN Creative on all social media. All of our past shows on mixcloud.com/Real Radio. Thank you for listening. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. He doesn't count because I got to pay him. It's been real.